Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome back to the podcast. I'm sitting here with Eli today.
Howdy, howdy.
Thanks for coming back again, Eli.
Always a pleasure.
We are doing an impromptu kind of recording today. We're going to do something more quick, and I'm going to tell a story about how someone tried to break into my apartment in the middle of the night when I was, I think, 22 or 23. I'm Annalise. My guest this episode is Eli, and this is a bonus episode of Spirit Static. So I'm just going to get straight into it, and yeah, here we go.
All right.
It was quite a scary experience. So this was when I lived in Washington. I lived in University Place, Washington, kind of outside of Tacoma, and it was kind of a sketchy-ish area, kind of adjacent to a sketchy area where I worked in a small hospital. Mm-hmm. But the area, like specifically where I was in the apartment complex, it was gated and typically pretty safe feeling.
Yeah.
So I lived alone, and my apartment complex was one of those, like, not inside a big building, but one of those outdoor type of complexes where there's the entrances to each apartment are outside.
Yeah, a little more like motel kind of style.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So my apartment was on the first floor, outdoor entrance, kind of in the corner of the apartment complex. I hadn't really had any experiences of feeling unsafe there before. So I was getting home from a late flight in the middle of the night, and I drove myself home from the airport, and I got home around 1:20 a.m. And so I parked my car, I got my suitcase out of the car. It was super quiet in the parking lot, super quiet around the apartment complex, and I didn't see a single person. And I'm already paranoid as it is about stuff like this. So I was aware of my surroundings. I did look around. I did kind of scan the parking lot because I'm scared of something like this happening. And I didn't hear or see anything. It was just a quiet night. And I walk into my apartment complex. I wasn't far from it, probably like a 30-second walk. There's a package on my doorstep from something I had ordered that came while I was gone. So I grabbed my package. I went inside. And every time I go inside, I always lock the door as soon as I close the door. Yeah. And thank God I did that.
Right. Yeah.
Because if I didn't do that, it could have been a completely different story. So I lock the door. My kitchen is right when you walk in to the right is my kitchen. And I start walking into my kitchen. I put my stuff down, and literally within 10 seconds after me locking the door, somebody starts ringing my doorbell over and over again.
Jeez.
I mean, not over and over. It was 3 times. It was like ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. And my body.
It's just what you want to hear.
It's just what I wanted to hear at that time.
Yeah.
I like froze, and I could feel like adrenaline in my body. And I was like in kind of like survival mode in that second. I was like, what the fuck? I was so scared. And I was in the kitchen, so I opened a drawer and I grabbed one of my biggest knives.
Good move.
And thank goodness I locked all of my windows, and like I had a back sliding door, and everything was locked before I left for my vacation. So everything was locked. My blinds were closed, so no one could really peek in. So I grabbed the knife and I walk over to the kitchen table. I'm sitting there with the knife, and I heard the person try to open the door with their hand.
Jeez.
Yeah, like open the doorknob.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. And I was not obviously, but I was too scared to go look through the peephole, because what if they had a gun or like...
No, exactly. At that point, you're getting within, there's a door between you, but you're within like 1 foot of this total stranger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so people, when I tell this story, people will ask me, why didn't you go look through the peephole? I'm like, Is that what you would have done? Like,
Yeah.
I was just frozen, sitting in like the corner of my kitchen at the table. And I tried to call my boyfriend at the time multiple times, but he didn't answer. He was cheating on me with his ex-girlfriend.
As you do.
As you do. So no answer from him. I then tried my mom, just hoping she would answer, and my mom did answer. Thank God. I don't know why I didn't like first call the police. I just kind of like felt frozen and like wasn't sure exactly what to do. So my mom answered. I told her what was going on. She said to call the police.
Yeah.
So I called 911 and I told them what was going on. I said someone was trying to get into my apartment. I just got home. I said, like, I'm 23 years old and I live by myself. And I believe they transferred me to like the police dispatch first, not like the ambulance dispatch.
Yeah.
And
sense.
they said, okay, we'll have someone come check it out. They asked me if, when the police came to look around, if I wanted them to follow up with me, like knock on the door and let me know everything was fine, or if they found someone. And I said, yes, please follow up with me.
Yeah.
I want to know that I'm safe. And what was so scary about this was that somebody had to have watched me walk into my apartment, but I didn't see anybody around. I didn't see anyone. Like, it's almost like someone had to be hiding.
Yeah.
Which is just so scary.
It's really creepy.
Yeah. And I guess it could have been, there's definitely a lot of like drug problems in Washington, a lot of people on drugs. There's a lot of unhoused people. So I'm like, I guess it could be a random person, you know, that knocked on my door, but I almost feel like that's unlikely.
Yeah, it'd be pretty bold for even like a homeless person, like
Yeah.
to just in the middle of the night knock on a random person's door right after they got home too. It's like clearly whoever it was like had to have seen you get home to know that you were there and go up to it. It's just so crazy.
Yeah, and also if it was someone that was on drugs, typically you don't have as much control over your being and your surroundings, and I feel like I would have noticed someone
Totally.
if it was that type of situation. And to be honest with you, I'm like, I feel like when I come across situations like that where there's a homeless person approaching me or stuff like that, I'm not really that scared because usually their intention isn't to hurt people.
No, exactly.
So I feel like it's unlikely that it was something like that, which makes it even scarier to me. And, you know, I was unsure if there was someone in the apartment complex that had been watching me or I don't know. So anyways, jump back to me finishing up calling the police. They said they're going to come check it out. In the meantime, I stayed at my kitchen table. I literally just did not move. And I called my mom back so she could stay on the phone with me while I was waiting for police to get there. This was about like a 45-minute to an hour phone call with my mom in the meantime. And during that time, I heard someone walking in my backyard.
Jeez.
By my sliding glass door. And there's like gravel out there.
Oh my gosh.
And so I assumed that it was the police though. I thought that like the police were just checking everything out and they were about to come knock on my door and update me.
Yeah.
So after I hear that, I tell my mom I hear someone outside, and then a few minutes go by without me getting a knock on the door by the police. And I told my mom, okay, I'm going to hang up with you and I'm going to call back to follow up to, you know, see if that was them.
Yeah.
And I called back. I called the police department, and the person that answers says, oh, they haven't gotten there yet because there was like a big car accident and a lot of the police are dealing with that and are stretched thin.
Got it.
And I was like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me?
That's so crazy.
Why does every single policeman need to be at this car accident? I don't know. And I'm not trying to, like, I'm sure they have a way of triaging things and prioritizing things that they have to follow.
For sure.
But just knowing that I heard something else within that hour time period and they hadn't even come to check on anything yet.
Yeah.
So I'm still on the phone and they said, well, is it still happening? And I said, no, this happened like an hour ago.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, okay, well, do you still want them to come? And I said, yeah. No shit, guys. They were like, well, there isn't really much they could do if like it's not still going on. But I guess we could send someone still to like check things out. And I'm like, yeah, thanks so much. Also, like, I feel like the gaslighting of like, well, there's nothing they can do about it, and like kind of like minimizing the situation.
Right.
Like, are you sure you really need someone to come and
Mm-hmm.
whatever? I was like, what the fuck? I honestly was so shook. They do end up coming. A police officer knocks on my door eventually. He says, I've looked around everywhere, around the building, around the apartment complex, in the parking lot, and I haven't seen a single person. Haven't seen a single soul. And I was like, great. And he said, finally I felt a little bit more believed when he was like, is there anyone in your life that you feel like would be like, do you have any ex-boyfriends or anyone that would want to like hurt you or anyone stalking you? And I was like, honestly, like not really that I know of. I don't feel like there's anyone that would do something like this, but I'm not really sure. He said, I do agree that this is weird because it's a gated apartment complex. I don't see anyone around, and that is a weird situation. And I was like, yeah. And so he basically was just like, well, let us know if anything else happens. I was like, okay, great. I don't remember the rest of the night, and I don't remember like if I went to sleep right away, or I don't remember what I did after that.
Yeah.
But it was really scary, and because of that, I ended up moving out of that apartment complex. I started looking for new apartments like the same week.
That's so crazy. Well, and it's like usually when something like that is going on, it is somebody that you at least like somewhat know.
Right.
I feel like it's so rare that something like that happens with a complete stranger, but when it does, it's like, it's not a good sign.
No.
It's usually like that's stuff you hear about serial killer stories, like attacking random people. So
yeah, and Washington is creepy as fuck.
They've had their fair share of serial killers. So.
Washington and Oregon, I love the Pacific Northwest, but I won't lie, I feel like there's a lot of opportunity for shady stuff up there with all the wilderness, like the vast wilderness. It gets even worse getting up to Alaska.
Yeah. No, definitely with a sparser population, there's more room for weird stuff to happen. Yeah, that's so crazy.
Yeah, and then after that point, until I moved out of my apartment complex, every time I parked and got home from anywhere, no matter what time of day, I would call my boyfriend while I was walking from my car to my apartment or from my apartment to my car, because I was like scared every time I went outside that someone was watching me.
Definitely. That's so freaky.
And I just imagine if I didn't have the habit of immediately locking my door behind me when I get inside, because they did try to open the door and they would have been able to open it if I didn't lock it. So yeah, that's the story. I know a lot of people have similar stories. Particularly, I've met a lot of women that have had stalker stories, but I didn't have any stalker activity leading up to this or anything. The only thing I could think of is somebody left me a little banana bread for Independence Day with like an American flag in it. I assumed it was a neighbor, and I did eat that. And I didn't know
How long before was this?
I'm not sure. I don't feel like it was super close together. But yeah, that's the only other weird thing. I also vaguely remember someone potentially knocking on my door or ringing my doorbell around 8 p.m. in the weeks leading up to this. And I don't ever answer the door. Who answers their door nowadays?
Yeah. Especially in a place like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Those were really the only things that stood out to me. And so I never had a conclusion to this, never figured out who it was.
Yeah.
I did report it to the apartment complex so they knew.
That's good. Yeah, it's so crazy. And it really is crazy how much that just one little moment of locking your door right when you got in completely changed
Yeah.
the whole course of things.
Like how significant that was. So lock your doors,
Yes.
everyone. Lock your doors, lock your windows, because you really just never know. And you don't know your neighbors. Like, no matter what you think, no matter where you live, there's so much crazy stuff that goes on behind closed doors and so many crazy people that never get caught or arrested for anything, but do weird ass shit and have weird brains, and you just really don't know people.
Yeah.
So that's my story.
It's crazy.
Has anything like that ever happened to you?
I've never had any sort of middle of the night someone's trying to like get in. When I was little and my family was out of the house, we had someone break in to our house through my window.
Wait, what?
I know this is a whole nother story. I don't know if I have time to tell the whole thing, but yeah, they stole like some jewelry and like a guitar and some stuff.
You said you weren't home?
We weren't home though. Yeah. It happened in like the morning. It was like a Saturday morning. I was out with my mom and my sisters at my little sister's like gymnastics class. And then when we got back, we came into the house and there was like a bunch of like open cabinets and stuff like knocked over. And
where was your dad?
My dad was working.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they must have known that no one was home.
Yeah.
Which is creepy.
I think, I don't know if they ever said this to me or if I just made this up, but one of our neighbors was pretty sketchy and
you don't know if they
had
made
a
this
bit
up.
of a history, not like anything relating to us, but had a little bit of a history. And I think they might have suspected it was him, but yeah.
This is the home that they still live in, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the house my parents still live in. Had come in through actually I didn't find this out till years later, but they found that he had come in through my bedroom window.
That's so fucked.
As a kid. And
they didn't tell you at the time.
They didn't tell me until years later, like, oh yeah, you know how we said he came in through like the sliding glass door that was left unlocked? Yeah, we made that up. He came in through your window.
Hopefully they locked the window for the rest of your childhood.
But yeah, I wasn't there for that. So it wasn't as much of a like intense, like, oh my gosh, someone's trying to get me type of feeling. It was more just like you come home and it's like, what?
Yeah.
What happened here?
Yeah. Scary.
Yeah.
So moral of the story, lock your windows, lock your doors whenever you can, especially if you're on the first floor somewhere.
Lock your car.
Lock your car. However, I left my car unlocked when I lived in Midtown and it was in my driveway. Someone, I've had my car broken into there multiple times. And because my car was unlocked, they didn't shatter my windows this time. They just went in the car and rifled through all my stuff. But the other time, my car was locked and they shattered the windows.
Jeez.
So I don't know about advice on that, but don't keep anything in your car.
Yeah. Crazy stuff.
So I think that's it. I hope
All right.
you enjoyed this little mini-sode.
Stay safe out there,
Stay
everyone.
safe out there. Okay, bye.
Bye.
This podcast is sponsored by me.